Today I'm running through 3 texts that demonstrate how power destroys one or others. First we have 2 that are similar in terms of the properties of the power and the themes it portrays. We got A Thousand Splendid Suns first. We got Miriam and her husband. I think it's pretty obvious that Miriam is harmed by the societal norms that give men power over women when he's fed pebbles by her husband because he doesn't like her rice because he's a big whiny baby. Alright? I think that's one of the most notable points in the book. It's kind of a turning point. You see how the power he pursues isn't benefiting him. His wives constantly attempting to escape him. Now we're moving on to The Yellow Wallpaper, which is a much shorter story, obviously, but it holds the same kind of concept and themes. When we have the woman who's literally trapped in her bed, representing like her being oppressed. Her husband constantly ignores her, just allows her to devolve into chaos. Any kind of real thing she says or conveys to her husband is just ruled out by him. He calls her, says, bless her little heart when talking about her, obviously being patronizing. While in this story, it's not every party directly being affected, but it still is telling the same story about how, like, accepting cultural power you have over people, and it just, like, it's letting him act so selfishly. Next, we have a very unrelated one. We have Othello. Othello pursues power through his place as a high military ranking official. But I'm not really focusing on Othello here. I think his story is almost kind of separate, which is Iago, because his pursuit of power is in jealousy and spite and just violence towards Othello. He hates him, he's racist, and he's sexist, he's every ist in the entire book. He does represent societal standards, especially at the time of Shakespeare. I mean, dude, I don't think women could, like, walk around probably back then. What were they doing back then? They were, like, milking cows and stuff. What I'm saying, we have Iago just, like, ruining all these people's lives in the pursuit of power. I mean, he goes as far as to make Othello kill his wife because he just hates him. Like, he plants a handkerchief in this other dude's, I mean, master plot, by the way. You gotta give him credit for that. He addresses jealousy. He's controlled by jealousy. And I think very clearly Othello, just the general story, shows how power corrupts everyone. Iago doesn't come up on top. He comes out at least in jail, if not probably executed, because they executed people all the time back then. And I think they got all this power going on. Basically, they're all
how the injustice of power, how all the problems of the power that's going around in these all this corruption, all this.
So yeah, basically, all of these stories show how the pursuit of power corrupts people. It corrupts everybody, and it corrupts everything very badly. And basically, what was that? Who are you? Ah!
It's corn time. Starting with the book Oedipus Rex. Oedipus has a very interesting complex with power. He has a feeling, or Oedipus is given a prophecy that it does not. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want this prophecy to come true. It literally says he has to marry his mother. His mother, interesting. And he has to kill his father. Come on, it's so easy not to kill your father. You would think. You would freaking think it'd be easy. And yet his inability to change his actions, to control his anger, leads himself to literally do those very things that would be, marry my mom? Not that hard. But guess what? He does it anyways. They seem very easy things to control, and yet his obsession with trying to control them and have power over those things leads himself to actually go and do those felonious things. The next one is Top Dog Underdog. Lincoln is trying to rid himself of his scandalous ways with the streets of cards. The cards I wish I had, not gonna lie, I can make some money off of them. Whereas Booth is trying to become better at the cards, better than, god dang it, me, if you would actually like to say that. Both are trying to better themselves at some craft. One's trying to become better in a means of actual morality, and the other one is trying to become better at getting money. They're both trying to better themselves as a means of almost proving oneself better than another. Lincoln is taking a little bit more of a moral route, where he's trying to do it for his brother, whereas Booth is trying to do it to upstand his brother. Both are trying to become better, yet Lincoln is very, very good at his craft and moves away from it. Let me look at the camera real quick. Whereas Booth isn't as good with it, but he wants to be good at it to prove that he's better than his brother. Better than corn? Nothing's better than corn. They both try and force who they are. They want to force themselves to be better than the other, and they pay the price with Lincoln's life. Booth ends up shooting him in his inability to become better than his brother. And the final story of Power is Buried Child. It all comes full circle. You'd think it would all come full circle. I can't believe it's all back to the corn. Dodge and Haley. They both use the truth as a means of control. They have control over their lives if they are able to choose who knows their secret. And for them, they don't want their secret to get out because it'll completely change their lives. By ignoring the fact that they had a child and killed the child and buried the child, they are able to seemingly live normal lives. They're able to repress the corn. Repress the corn. You cannot repress the corn. It'll come back and get you. It'll come back and actually kill you. In this instance, Dodge does die. Due to how traumatizing it is to hold on to this for so incredibly long, they lose who they are. They become fractions, shells of who they truly are. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Everyone in the story ends up losing who they are because of how traumatizing this burden is to carry. The reality of the situation is that the truth is hard. That might just be all the stories for today. All of them, man. Oh man, it feels nice to sit in this chair now. Very, very nice to sit in this chair. Stories show the power of the individual and their loss thereof of their individuality. Their loss of power. Power. No! Oh God.